Hello, Psych 150. This is our week 14 video, November the 18th through November the 24th. This week we are covering part 2 of chapter 15, which are the psychological disorders. Now, we covered a lot of disorders last week. This week we will be covering schizophrenia as well as the anxiety disorders. If we look at our task for this week, the only thing that you have due on Sunday is the week 14 quiz, which is the part 2 of the audio PowerPoint for this chapter. Speaking of which, this is the last audio PowerPoint for the semester. Thank goodness, right? Next week, you will have Thanksgiving week, which we will not have an audio PowerPoint for. And then we have exam 4 the week after Thanksgiving week. So this is the last audio PowerPoint for the semester. I do have a couple of videos posted for you, one on OCD and 2 on schizophrenia. Of course, these are optional videos. They're just supplements to the audio PowerPoint lecture, but I will tell you that especially this one on OCD is about a guy named Chad who has one of the worst cases of OCD that I've ever seen. Just a really interesting kind of case study. It's from the show Obsessed, which was on TLC, I believe, but it's a really interesting case study of someone who has very, very serious OCD. So those are in the videos folder. We have our week 14 quiz. As usual, this is the last quiz for the semester. Next week for Thanksgiving week, you will have a class video due. I didn't want to give you another lecture because it is Thanksgiving week. I know a lot of people are traveling. So the only thing you'll have next week is to review all of this information and to do a class video for next week, but you'll see that in next week's folder. The week after next, as I mentioned, will be exam 4. Exam 4 will only be on these last 2 chapters, the personality chapter and parts 1 and 2 of chapter 15, which is the psychological disorders chapter. I did want to also give you some information on the final exam. I sent out an announcement about this on Monday, last Monday as well. Our final exam will open on Thursday, November the 12th, and it will close on December the 12th, and it will close on Sunday, December the 15th. Even though WIG Tech allows that whole entire week for final exam week, each instructor is allowed to give or schedule their online exams for any time during that week. Now, I know that a lot of instructors only give one day, a 24-hour period for the exam, but I know from talking to you all that we have a lot of people in this class who are full-time students and have a full-time job. Some people only work on the weekends. So I wanted to have it open for at least 4 full days, 2 weekdays and 2 weekend days. Because we do have it open for 4 full days, you need to make sure that you take it early. There will be no makeups or anything for the final, so make sure that you are prepared and that you take it early. It must be submitted before the due date of Sunday, December 15th at 11:59 p.m. But there'll be more information on the final in the weeks to come. And then once again, I wanted to remind you about the course eval for the extra credit for the final. Many of you have done this already, but it is in the extra credit folder, the same folder where you found the extra credit for the personality test from last week. All you have to do is take the course eval for this class, send me a screenshot of the email that says thank you for completing this, and I can then keep track of that, and I will manually add points onto your final exam if you submit that screenshot of your course evaluation confirmation email. The other thing I forgot to mention, this week's quiz is also, just like last week, only 5 questions and you have 5 minutes. And that's mainly because I took this very large chapter and I made it into 2 different weeks. So the quiz this week is only 5 questions, 5 minutes, just like it was last week. Hope you all have a great week. Again, if you need anything else, please let me know.